everyone. Welcome to today's episode. Edna Kimble, Edna Sells with Century 21 Right Real Estate. And today we have a lovely guest. We have Crosby Caughron with us. See, I froze up. I know your name. But anyway, she is here today to tell us all things Rotary. And we're going to dig in and find out just why Miss Crosby is so infatuated with the Rotary Club. So before we get started with that, though, I'd like to just kind of go through a few details and see if it's true. So sometimes what we do is we check you out online, and some of the things that we're going to tell about you may not even be true. So you can tell us if we're on key or not. So you are originally from Tahlequah, a hometown girl.
Yes.
And of course I know you because your mother was one of my mentors. And your mom is actually one of the reasons you got into basically just public service and being a volunteer in the community. And you previously have volunteered from everything from CASA to the food pantry, Feed My Sheep, Help in Crisis.
So my mom did all of those, and I would go with her.
Oh. Okay.
So she helped start Feed My Sheep with some of our church and some of the other local churches.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so they did that, and then she was very heavily involved with Help and Crisis at the very beginning, up until she was around 8 months pregnant with me. And so when I got into high school, she had me start volunteering there and going through their program to become a volunteer and a hotline coordinator answer.
Right.
So I did that all through high school and all through college.
Wow, that's a lot for a high school student to be exposed to, but I also think it's reality, right?
It is.
Yeah.
And so it was a passion that she kind of instilled in me, and I wish I still had time to volunteer with Help in Crisis, but I'm glad that I'm able to be a part of an organization that gives back to Help in Crisis, and Rotary does that. So.
Absolutely. So your mom, Brooks Connor, of course, for those who aren't, we assume everybody knows this, was actually one of my first real estate mentors. And I didn't know about Feed My Sheep, but I did know about Help in Crisis because she got me on the board.
Yes.
And I actually was a volunteer and was on the board because of your mom. So, but I didn't realize that she had helped start Feed My Sheep.
She was one of the first groups. I think there were 3 or 4 churches.
Oh, wow.
And so St. Basil's, the Episcopal Church here in town, my mom was a member of, that she was one of the ones that would cook.
Okay. I shouldn't be surprised because cooking and feeding people was like what she was known for.
Yes.
She loved that so much. So, okay. So you grew up here. Did you go to school here also?
I went 2 years at UCO in Edmond, and then I moved back and finished my degree here in Tahlequah.
But you're also still pursuing your MBA. Is that accurate?
I am. So after my bachelor's, I went on and got my dual long-term care nursing home administration license rather than going for my master's at that time.
Yeah.
And so Cherokee Nation Health Services is very big about growing their people. And so they encouraged me to go back. And so I am. And I'm 3 classes away from graduating.
Oh, my God. That's practically done then.
With 2 small kids. So it's been quite an endeavor, but...
Well, 2 small children, a full-time job, and you volunteer while you're doing this. That is really, really impressive. But 3 classes away.
3 classes, so very close.
Okay, so you should be able to finish up next year?
Yeah, so I could do all 3 in the fall, but I don't really want to do that. So I'm going to do 2 in the fall and 1 in the spring.
You know, you have to, even though you have a full-time job and 2 children and you do the volunteer, you have to eat and sleep in there somewhere. So maybe don't.
Yes, I did 3 this last spring, and it was pretty brutal. So I was like, I don't think I'll do that again.
Yes.
It's a marathon, not a race.
Right.
So.
That is so true. That is so true. And when we were kind of researching you and checking out, LinkedIn, Wikipedia, if you show up on there, all those things, something that showed up that I absolutely loved was a quote that you had put on, and I'm going to share it real quick, okay? It says, I think every working mom probably feels the same thing. You wake up every day and you think, this is impossible. Oh, this is impossible. And then you just keep going, and you sort of do the impossible. I love that.
I love it too. It resonates with me. It's very true. I think if you're a stay-at-home mom or you're a working mom, I think all moms are superheroes, but it is challenging when you're working full-time and you have kids of any age, and it's a balance, but I do think that we do the impossible every day.
I love that.
And I'm sure you can relate.
And it is just continuing to move forward. I love that. We have the young lady behind the camera that never comes out front. She is a working mom, and it's sometimes her win of the week is, I fought the fight to get the diaper on.
Yes.
Whatever. But it is you being a superhero and just doing the thing.
You just do it. You choose your battles and you make it through the day and do it again the next day.
Yeah, that's so amazing. I think it's so important too as a woman to be clear to people that even though on social media you look perfect. You've got this beautiful family, the full-time job, you're giving back, but you are saying this is hard. Yes. But I do the hard things, and I just do what I can do.
The facade of social media.
Yes, right. Yeah.
It's not accurate. I don't think anything's perfect. Yeah.
Just being aware of people. You're going to have those days. So.
Absolutely.
And so, speaking of children, you have 2.
I do. Lindley is 3, and Lane is 6.
Oh my gosh.
And so they're a lot of fun. Lindley started gymnastics, and Lane's baseball, any sport he can do. So we're going to do wrestling this fall and then maybe some flag football, but he likes baseball and basketball we've done and we love. So.
Oh, that's fun. I love the gymnasts at that age because eventually everything they do, they end with ta-da!
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's so much fun. So, okay, and so you grew up here, you moved away for a little bit for college, but you're back here and full-time here in Tahlequah?
Yeah, so I lived in Texas for a little bit when I was engaged to my husband Preston, and then we moved back to Tulsa and we resided there. He worked there and I worked there as well.
Now, is he from Tahlequah?
He's from Bixby.
Okay, not too far.
Not too far, nope. And we met in college. And then ended up getting engaged, living in Tulsa, getting married, working there for a few years, and then an opportunity presented itself. I had some friends that I worked with that were at Cherokee Health Services, and a position came open, and they said, hey, you should apply for this. I think it would be a good fit for you. And so I did, and so I serve as the Director of Physician Practice Management. It's kind of a tongue twister.
I was hoping you would say what you do because I was
Director of Physician Practice Management is my title for Cherokee Nation Health Services, but essentially I'm the Director of Cherokee Health Partners. Okay. Cherokee Health Partners is a joint LLC that was formed in 2004 between Cherokee Nation Health Services and Northeastern Health System, better known as for Tahlequah, Pete's at the Tahlequah City Hospital. So they formed that LLC to provide specialty services. The goal is to improve the quality and access for those services. So the Heart Center Cardiology services fall under that. Ear, nose, and throat, neurosurgery.
Oh, wow.
And the sleep lab.
I was going to say, and you have a sleep lab.
Yes.
When I was I was like, wow.
A lot of people don't even realize that we have those services. And so they're offered to both Cherokee Nation beneficiaries as well as non-beneficiaries. So the community as a whole. And that's kind of the purpose of Cherokee Health Partners.
So that just kind of plays into everything you were raised into, giving back to the community, and you're just kind of helping the community give back to itself almost.
Yes, yeah. I love it. It's a rewarding job. Challenging, but definitely rewarding. Little Tahlequah now has very specialized healthcare services that we're able to provide for the community. Yeah. So it is awesome.
Not so little anymore. Huh?
Not little, not like it used to be.
Growing like crazy. So one of the ways that I've connected with you recently, even though I've known you since you were little, coming up through your parents, is through the Rotary Club. You guys have done a lot of fun things this year, and I know that with COVID over the past years, you just put new spins on everything.
We did.
But I feel like this year was the first year we were all able to get together again.
Yes. And thank you. You're an amazing sponsor for us
it's so much
on
fun.
Our events.
Yeah.
And your husband's a member, and we enjoy him being involved. But yeah, we actually, a couple of years ago, before COVID, they would do an annual auction. And it was a silent auction, and you had to dial into the radio.
I remember that.
And we started thinking of ways to modernize that when COVID happened. And so,
because you could only hear it, you couldn't see what you're like, I
Yes.
hope that's what I'm getting.
yes, exactly. So we thought it would be fun to do a Rotary type gala that was Kentucky Derby themed, where you could dress up in the big hats and the dresses and decorate your tables and have just a fun event where we can get the community together, and also raise funds that go back into the community. So everything that we raise at that auction, we do have auction items that community members and businesses generously donate. And there is an auction at the gala, but the gala brings us all together. And it also, we can provide education on what Rotary is and try to get, it's almost a recruitment too. We want you to come join us. And so
that's a good point.
It was kind of our modernized idea or philosophy for Rotary this year, or last year is when we started it. So this year was our second annual Rotary Gala, and I thought we did well. We raised over $30,000 that goes back into the community
in that one night. Wow, that's really great. So, and what I loved about, I go to a lot of the events local, the galas or gala. Everybody says it different. And I do like to get dressed up every now and then, but sometimes when there's so many of them, it's like, ugh. And that was just so much fun, the Kentucky Derby, because it was way more casual. Yeah, and it was more about the getting together, I think, so just a lot of fun. If you didn't get to go this past year, be sure and put it on your calendar for next year, because it was so much fun. So
I think we're going to move it back a month, just because of all the galas that fall in April.
It was so much this year.
I was. There are so many, and they are fun. But that's one thing I love about the Rotary Gala is that it is not casual. It's not as formal.
Yeah.
We want you to come and have fun, and I think it was a great hit. Everybody seemed to really like it.
I think it's going to grow and grow and grow.
That's our hope. It grew a lot from last year. So, and so all of those funds go back into the community in different ways. We give back to the community in a variety of different ways. One would be through our community action grants, and that's how I said we give back to Help in Crisis. We do community action grants for any nonprofit organization within Cherokee County that applies for it. It's a simple one-page form that you can find on the Rotary website, and we give those to, in the past year I would say CASA, is that how you say it?
Yeah, yes.
And
yes.
Help in Crisis, and
let's see, I've got CASA, Tahlequah Chamber of Commerce, Help in Crisis, the Penguin House.
I love it.
I love that. Humane Society, the Food Pantry, and American Legion.
Yes, that was in the past 12 months.
Oh, wow.
We give those out, and then we also do scholarships every month for high school students at all of the schools within Cherokee County.
Okay. And did I hear that is shifting a little bit as far as they could even get a scholarship to like a VOTEC? It doesn't have to be college.
It doesn't have to be college.
Yeah, I think that's
it could be a vocational program as well.
And is that something they can apply for, or are they nominated? How would a student go about getting a scholarship?
They're counselors.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay,
perfect.
And they typically will nominate them for it, and they'll just fill out a little form and they come join us at a meeting and we go over it. Their parents get to come and we give them an award, and then they send in their transcript when they start, or proof of enrollment at whatever program they're going to do, and then we send them their scholarship money.
Wow. So the Rotary is obviously an international program, but you are on the local level and you are the treasurer.
Yes.
And so how long have you been a member of the Rotary?
I started almost 4 years ago.
Oh, okay.
So September will be 4 years, and I don't know how I ended up as the treasurer. I don't like doing anything financial, but
you made eye contact with someone. I'm always like, don't make eye contact.
I know. So, but it's rewarding, and yes, we I've been a member for 4 years, and I've been the treasurer for 3.
Oh, that happened very quickly.
Yes,
Those
yes.
newbies get reeled in really
Yes,
quickly.
they do.
So basically what you do in the Rotary then is that, first off, you have a meeting once a month,
Mhm.
right? And it's also very casual. It's just like a
Absolutely.
lunch setting, pop in, have lunch, get to network and know fellow people in the neighborhood or in the community. And so basically you raise money and then figure out a way to give it back.
And to use it back. So I would consider Rotary a service organization.
Oh, absolutely.
And service is at the heart of all that we do. And we meet once a week, and the meetings consist of community members, leaders, friends.
So it's once a week?
Uh-huh.
Oh, once a week.
We meet once a week on Tuesdays at noon at Gogi Village. You get a free lunch, so if you ever want to come, we would love to have you there as a guest. But there's kind of business people, retired people, men, women, old, young. Just it's a collaboration of community members that we meet once a week, and we just look at what we can do to infuse back in our community.
It's like pulling your resources.
It really is,
that.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're working right now on a water fill station at 2 different parks in Tahlequah. So we're just looking at ways we can give back. So it's not just the scholarships or the community action grants. On an international level, we do help with that as well. We partnered with MSNI. It's a company in Tulsa, medical supply company, and we were able to donate funds to send supplies to Ukraine last month, and then we also last year donated hospital beds to Haiti that they delivered for us. So
Oh my God.
we definitely contribute on a very small scale internationally, but most of what we do is focused on our community here.
I love that. I love that. I think it's so important. And then when you can help out globally, that's a big plus on top. So
Absolutely.
yeah. And so if there is a nonprofit, a small nonprofit who's looking to kind of get in on not the scholarship money, it's how do you
Community action
community
grants.
action grant, they could just go to the Rotary website. Is there like a local site?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay,
There's a
okay.
Tahlequah Rotary Club website,
Okay.
and there is
So we're
a
going to put that below for those of you looking for that. Okay.
wonderful, and then there's a link that you can go to click to the community action grant. It's really a very simple form. It's 1 page, and you just fill out the information, and then we present it at our board meeting once a month.
Okay.
And I've never been to one where one was denied. So
Oh, wow.
as long as you're a nonprofit organization
Okay.
and there's a need that you have.
So let's say a nonprofit was needing some safety vests,
Mhm.
and it's going to be $300.
Right.
They just go in, tell you what it's for, fill out the form, and then voila.
Correct.
Guys, you should be doing this if you're a nonprofit. That's awesome. Yes. And so if somebody was interested in joining the Rotary, what does that look like?
Well, we would always love to have you come as a guest first to a meeting and just have lunch with us and fellowship with us for an hour on a Tuesday,
Okay.
and see if it's something that you would like to do. And then the membership process is pretty easy. It's just an application, and
Okay. Yeah, so get your free lunch.
Yes.
Fill out the application and you could be a part of that. I love that.
it's a great organization, and we give back in a lot of different areas. I forgot to mention we do a food. This is a big one. Was the Christmas baskets, food
Oh,
baskets
yes.
at Christmas. We do that for families in Tahlequah that are designated to us from Tahlequah Public School System. And
that's wonderful.
Heart
though, 'cause
Funeral
the
Home
teachers
helps
know.
us.
Yeah,
Yes.
the teachers know.
and we give out a lot of those
Okay.
at
okay.
Christmas time.
And so what other fundraisers do you do? Because you're doing a lot for the community. Is it only the big?
It's just the big gala
Oh,
once a year.
wow. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we've got to make sure that's a huge success. So
Yes,
do
if you
you-
didn't come this year, come next year.
Yeah. Do you know the date for next year yet?
I
or-
don't. We are down to 2 dates, and it
Oh.
looked like it was going to be the beginning of May.
Okay. Okay. It's so hard at that time of the year because there's either a graduation
It is.
or a prom or another, entity that's doing something and you don't want to book it all, but it's almost impossible not to.
It is.
Yeah.
It's so hard to find the right time, but we don't want to sway from from around that time because the whole theme is Kentucky Derby.
Oh, absolutely. It needs to stay in that timeline.
And you forgot to mention you won the table decorating contest.
Yes, that my husband came home and said, "Hey, we need to decorate a table." So, you know me, go big or go home, and I kind of overdid it. So.
No, it was great.
I love a contest. I'm a little bit competitive, as you guys know that.
We loved it because then people came in and saw that, and I think they were like, "Oh, well, next year I'm going to do it big."
I'm going to bring it.
Yeah.
Bring in a live horse next year. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Well, we're excited that in the middle of all of this that you've got going on, you took the time to come out and kind of promote the Rotary, because I just think that that's an amazing thing. And I didn't realize that it really comes down to that one big event. So that's gonna mean we need to double down even more and make sure that we are there to support that.
It does come down to that, and we're so grateful for everybody who donates and also sponsors and comes to attend.
Yeah, or just participate. Just buy the tickets and come out and have a good time.
Yes.
So, and we might even try to have you back next year before,
That would
just
be
so
great.
that we can kind of promote that and see what we can do to make sure that that's getting out there. So,
Thank you for the opportunity.
well, thank you. No, we're super excited that you came out, and I didn't realize how much you guys were doing. I know the Rotary is near and dear to my family's heart because my husband is a volunteer and does enjoy that. But wow, I didn't realize how important it is to all of our nonprofits locally. So that's amazing. So thank you for your time
Yes, thank
and
you.
everything that you're doing for the community.
Thanks
So,
for having me.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
absolutely. And we're going to put the Rotary information below, so you'll be able to click on and see how to join, how to apply, all of that. And then if you have any questions, you can just reach out to the Rotary. There'll be like a help desk kind of thing on there that you can get into. So this is a real estate podcast, and we always like to bring it back to real estate before we let you get out of here. And what I should have mentioned is your mom was a broker and owner of a real estate company for ever. How long? Do you have any idea how long she owned?
Oh my goodness. Well, long before I was born.
Yeah.
And then all of my life, that's all she did. So she,
probably 40 to 50 years,
Yes.
somewhere in there. Yeah, and again, she was my mentor. So that's why it always comes back to real estate with me. But we like to ask our guests, if money was no object and you had the opportunity to pick 3 things for your dream home, what would those 3 things be?
ooh, 3 things.
3 things or 3?
The money wasn't an object.
Yeah, money
Okay,
is
close
not.
to the beach.
Okay, the beach. Love that one. I'm coming to visit you.
Outdoor space is important to me.
Okay.
Our family spends a lot of time outside, and so
Yeah.
I think of just a good outdoor space with
Okay.
a pool and a big back porch and
Outdoor kitchen
and
all of that.
an area to hang out and spend
Nice.
time. That's important. And then I think I love the house I live in. We built it, but if I could do it again, you always think of a lot of different
Yes,
things.
yeah.
I think his and her walk-in closet.
Oh, nice.
Where you didn't have to share your closet
Money
space.
is no object. It's fine. You
Right.
can totally do that.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, those actually aren't that crazy. I mean, the beach might be a stretch here in Tahlequah, but
If money wasn't an object, though, I wouldn't be.
Exactly.
I'd probably be by the beach.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us. We do love to kind of see and the beach tends to come up quite a bit in our market, believe it or not. So, but outdoor living space is probably our number one that people.
Is it?
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
I think a good kitchen's important. There's a lot of other little things, but outdoor, I would say we used our outdoor space so much.
Yeah.
And so we didn't really think about that when we built our house. And so we've had to, do some renovations and get a covered porch and we extended ours. And so we've added a fire pit. We we love to be outside. And so
Yeah.
I think it's an important.
And I do think that that's a hint to those sellers out there. Anything you can do for your exterior, because it does come up so much, and I know money
Absolutely.
is an object for you sellers, but there's little things like fire pits and things that you can do on a lower budget to really increase your value so that young families that are coming in will see that and fall in love. So yeah, that's fun. Thank you so much. Guys, as always, please like, follow, and share. And if you would like to be a guest on our podcast, please reach out. Or if there's someone that you would like to see as a guest, let us know. And as always, thanks for watching.